Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Paradise Killer, where this is kind of a local minimum of weirdness on screen at once. This is maybe the most normal thing we've seen since we showed up here. The mascot was designed many islands ago by the artist Renoy. Kids love him. I find that difficult to believe. I just tried to grab that door with right click and move it aside because I've been playing too much Teardown. Unavoidable pain pills. All workers on the island require prescribed pain medication. All goods produced in the farm and deep factory have to be hauled by hand. If it was good enough in ancient Egypt, it's not a good... Nope, don't finish that sentence. So when I read this, I read pain pills that are unavoidable, but these are pills for unavoidable pain. Which is kind of... They're both wrong in different ways. The pain's not avoidable for the poor citizens, but the people who are causing the pain to be inflicted could avoid inflicting it. Dog treats! If only I had any idea where that dog was! I should have made a note. Okay, it's fine. I can go back and check the footage. We will get these treats to that dog. It will happen. Idiotic loyalty levels. A poster showing the different tiers of loyalty a customer can achieve with the Second Heaven loyalty card. Can I actually look at that? Because I definitely want to know. I have one of those cards. No, I mean, there's no way to investigate these. You cannot look at these any closer than we already have. I'm still hearing... Yeah, here we go. Still hearing item noises. There we go. Air Dash. Air Dash solves all of our movement problems. The Embryonic Adults. A wretched CD. A CD containing obnoxiously esoteric music by the Embryonic Adults. Completely unlistenable. Kids these days. Can you believe it? There's definitely still an item noise. I wonder if it's on the roof. It sounds like it might be behind the wall. Yeah, let's go outside into the alley. See if there's another bloodstone or something. Uh-huh. Okay, fine. We'll do this the old-fashioned way. Can I air dash upward? Yes, I can. Okay, cool. All of a sudden, we have all of this mobility. I feel like I just took off the weighted training clothes, man. We're gonna be unstoppable. Also, again, just blood crystals in the trash. We can definitely get up on the roof. Yeah, this rules. Double jump plus air dash totally rules. So I guess that's our deep factory. Am I going to be able to get over to that? I mean, really, I guess you'd want to do it from up there. Man, where was that other blue sigil? Oh, right here. Okay, so it seems like usually the sigils are pretty close to the place where you want to plug them in. I still, like, there's so many places on this statue the water could have come out of. But why did they have to add the crying noises? That's the part that really gets me. The name of this god has something to do with grief, right? So I guess I get what they're going for. But it's real creepy. Even like relative to the other stuff in this game, I feel like that's very creepy. Did we do this one already? Okay, apparently not. Well, let's do it then. Let's buy some... I'm sure whatever this drink is, it's going to be explosive. An explosion of flavor? No, it's water. It has good mouthfeel, though. Which I guess is one of the primary things that you want from water? That and the making you not die of thirst thing, I think, are like the primary goals. Yeah, geez, we can just go anywhere now. Oh, sometimes I can just go anywhere now. I landed directly on top of it. Okay. Have we been up here before?
Fast travel unlocked. Starlight skins obtained.
That lotus doesn't look all that grim. It is a frightful plant that strikes fear in the minds of even the strongest demon worshipper. I feel like the people here are just kind of anti-flower. Like, unusually anti-flower. And I'm pretty sure we've not been up here before.
Crystal obtained.
So I guess let's look around. I think there was something that I was planning to do, but too late. I got distracted. Okay, so that's Lydia over there where we last talked to her. There's a Shinji that I might have had trouble getting to prior to all of the foot bathing. All of these wonderful, wonderful foot baths that we have taken. This fast travel point is like 6 seconds away from the other one that we just unlocked, but sure, why not? Oh, see, these blossoms are beautiful. They're not grim at all. When the trees blossom, citizens gather to give praise by letting blood directly on the tree to fertilize it. Okay. Sort of a real kind of wood elfy strategy for keeping your forest healthy. So yeah, we definitely did not climb these buildings. Let's take a quick look around the ground floor here just to make sure we're not missing anything. Okay, that's a decision. Shinji, that's not how tables work. That's not how these things are used. Oh, how's your day going, Loved Eyes? Having a good time? You having a blast? Well, you know, investigation's in my blood. I do love it. That's the spirit. Screw the murdered council, so long as you're getting yours, eh?
Strange.
That's not really what I meant. Ah, later. Gotta shoot. I don't like it. I don't like him using that terminology. I don't like the image that put in my head. Ugh. You know, he's got 4 hands, and you just know that they're busy. You just know that he's always doing stuff to people and himself. This game has perverted me. I used to be so innocent. Hey there. A grieving ghost. They started here, dragged through the building towards the ocean. But then where? Who started here? Did they go into the sewers? No, that doesn't make sense. Maybe straight into the ocean. But why?
Strange.
What are you talking about? They must have left some clue.
The investigator is here.
She's so excited about the idea of anything she might be able to investigate. A clue to what? Huh? Oh, I didn't see you. Step aside, please. I'm trying to find my neighbor. Well, maybe I can help. I am an investigator? Question mark? Yes, maybe. But if they were dragged to the beach, where did they go from there? Somewhere out of sight. Under cover,
I
maybe.
need to investigate this.
Maybe I should try and help them look for whatever it is. A neighbor, you know. Whatever it is might be somewhere covered on the beach.
Touch me.
You know, I found this under the pier. Oh, that's true, I did. Wait, is that... It is! Finally, I have proof that my neighbor was murdered. The God Justice Marshals weren't interested in helping me. They said it was an accident, but I knew it was murder. I guess I'll never know who did it. I suppose it doesn't really matter now, does it? That's not justice, but at least I have some peace now. Please, take these. Do not let citizen murders go uninvestigated. Okay.
Blood crystal obtained.
I mean, 2 blood crystals doesn't feel like much of a reward, but it's basically free stuff. I'll take free stuff. Speaking of free stuff, an inquisitive apartment murder report. A newspaper with an article about a string of dismemberments within the apartments. They often happen during the height of summer. People living in cramped conditions give in to dark desires. That feels a little bit like... unevidenced blame. You know, especially given what we know about the Syndicate and the demons and everything, it's hard for me to believe that we should just be like, ah, yes, the citizens are at fault for the violence against the citizens. We're probably just hearing something up on the roof. Here, let's go up this way. Oh, hold on a second. Those probably aren't openable. From up here, I thought it was a trash can. One of those standing trash bins that we've been able to open several times. Okay, sure. I'm into it. May the silent goat carry me, because I'm going to have a hard time walking after all this blood I'm constantly spraying everywhere.
Relic of Cain.
A carving that tells of the god Crying Grudge. Nearly killed by the Persian army at the Battle of Beyond Revenge, body was paraded across the country and displayed above the palace in Shushatra Zero. The tears of the god fertilized the ground, the sea became a sea of lilies. Listen, I know this part. I know, like, why the statue crying, like, I get this, what they're doing with the statues. I just don't know why they had to include the sound effects. It seems like a step too far, to me.
Music of Cain.
Ooh, I like this one. This is some real, like, casino night-ass music right here. A dance under the gaze of demons. You can feel their eyes bulging from the concrete. Let them watch. Let them lust. Okay. Look real hot, because maybe your murderer is watching, and don't you want them to enjoy how hot you look? Parallel red. I do love it when things are both parallel and red. Now see, if we can find a tape that was more like Mystic Cave Zone, I'd take all the other stuff off the list. We'd just listen to that on loop. A blend of different fruits and vegetables, full of vitamins and minerals, often drunk morning after the night before. I mean, isn't that literally... Okay. I sort of get the implication, but that's a really weird way of expressing it. Aha, look at the mobility.
Relic of Cain.
Oh, efficacious chilies. I suppose those are the best kind. I mean, an efficacious anything is going to be better than not. Oh, weird. Just a small room with no purpose whatsoever. Ah, okay. Well, if we find a yellow sigil somewhere, and presumably the existence of this means that there is one nearby, then we know what to do with it. Is that... I think it's just a bloodstone up there. Well, I do believe that's our sigil, although it looks a lot more orange than yellow to me. I think that would be mighty hard to get to without all of the mobility stuff that we've acquired. Oh good, Shinji's crouching in the bushes, waiting for me. You know, I always think people without hobbies are natural murderers. If you have nothing to occupy the mind, it's natural to turn to murder. That's chilling, right? Sorry. That's chilling, right? Scary. That guy next to you at work doesn't have a hobby, could cut you open. They're both this, that word has a lot of meanings, it's very overloaded. That's quite the logic leap. Can you prove I'm wrong? That's basic criminal science, Love Dies, get it together. I think Shinji's maybe doing a little bit of projecting there. Like, if I weren't busy, I would be killing people just for the hell of it. Therefore, I assume that's the case with everybody else.
Relic of Cain.
Discarded pistachios. It's good to crack open and focus on while you're thinking about a problem. Man, it's been a long time since I've had any pistachios. Okay, another place for one of these. Hopefully we'll find another one. Okay, that basically worked. So there's a lot of adorable little fish.
Relic of Cain.
One of the Syndicate's social experiments was to create different social spaces around the apartments. There was decreased violence in this apartment. Feeding animals makes people happier. I guess that's a reasonable conclusion. Maybe a little light on evidence.
Relic of Cain.
A gleaming male idol card. A collectible card of an amateur pornographic actor. Underground pornography often springs up in the apartment blocks. I mean, well, it seems like it's mostly above ground, though, huh? This isn't like the good official pornography. This is the underground stuff. Alright, what are we buying?
Relic of Cain.
Aesthetic water. A water filtered through volcanic rock for absolute purity. of course, there aren't any volcanoes on the island. Listen, there have been a lot of other islands. There were probably some volcanoes at some point. So again, we're actually seeing a space here that I don't think we could have gotten to prior to our big mobility gain. There's Shinji just waiting for us once again. There's no bridge on this side. No, there's just the one bridge. There's not a second sort of a parallel space for there to be another crest. Well, let's go ahead and grab this one. Oh no, actually, this isn't too bad. This would be totally doable, even without the extra mobility.
Key item obtained.
Okay, it's definitely more yellow in the image. Boy, draw distance is a hell of a thing, huh? I described this game as like PS2 Vaporwave in terms of its aesthetic to somebody recently, but it sure is nice not to be playing it on a PS2 so that we can actually see some things in the distance. Okay. I'm assuming we're gonna get, 2 blood crystals for that. Well, I suppose the other crystal could just be on the way up the building? Maybe from the ground? Let's hope so, because I would like to get that dealt with now, because I'm going to forget that that's there otherwise. Yep, there it is. I mean, we may as well just go. Oh, I did a bad job. Huh. I guess I'm... No, wait. Crouch. There it is. That was pretty weird looking. It did not look like we were standing on that thing. Alright, we'll come down here and we'll investigate properly in a moment. Alright, fine. Shinji, what? Hey, Love Dice.
Investigator is here.
What's happening? How's it going, my dude? Just enjoying the island, you know? I mean, obviously I hate this place, but you gotta make the best of it, haven't you? If you ain't looking on the bright side, you ain't living. That's optimistic. Also, are we living? Is that what we're doing? If you're not optimistic, you got a problem. Life's too short. I mean, all of us in the Syndicate are immortal, so... Well, then you've got far bigger problems than being optimistic. Anyway, can't stay here yapping. I'm a busy demon. I have seen no evidence that that is true. I don't believe it for a second. Alright, yeah, I guess we can just climb up here and cross this fancy newfangled way. Okay, so those are up. It doesn't look like there's another one around here. Oh, there sure is lots of stuff still to collect, though. It's a big island. Oh, well, hurled myself dramatically down 6 flights of stairs. I don't think there's anything that we're missing here. So we saw it all from the top, but let's just be relatively sure. Let's be more sure than we were, thus being relatively sure. Yeah, okay, and then this is the floor that we were just on. So, let's fall, hooray! If the game's going to give me freedom from fall damage, I'm going to take full advantage of it.
Blood crystal obtained.
Oh, what is this? The gold plate cries out for light. Okay, it's a hint. It's a hint about how to do the thing we just already did.
Blood crystal obtained.
Does this one say the same thing? Sure does. Alright, so we can see lots and lots of things that we still have to pick up from the rooftops up there. Wait, did I... Huh. Did I just run past him? Oh, I guess he was underneath the thing. That's why we didn't see him before. A time to cut the air. A time for monolithic cities. A time for blood. A time for psychosis. Okay, I mean, that was weird. It's not, like, especially weirder than the rest of our conversations with that dude. He's always kind of a problem.
Fast travel unlocked. Starlight skin obtained.
A towers sparkle in the waning sun, a cascade of jewels as far as the eye can see. Definitely not a Starlight upgrade. Alright, is there any other... We still have to go to the factory and the farm. Continue to gather environmental evidence. And then I guess it's time to start questioning suspects. I want to make sure I have as much information as possible before we do so, though.
Obtained.
And I mean, it's already been pretty successful. We've learned a lot of weird stuff.
Love crystal obtained.
Guess we'll just go ahead and plug that right in here.
Relic obtained.
A carving detailing the god Endless Moon, the Goat Woman, settled in France and defended the country from dire rose, imprisoned in the underground palace in France during the Great Betrayal. That's a lowercase France. That's not like the France, it's just a France.
Relic obtained.
Memento of the 22nd Island sequence. The vampire murders begin. We will be haunted by this vile monster in our ranks. Okay, that's interesting. So the vampire problem's not new. We've been having vampire problems. Feels like somebody could have mentioned that before.
Love crystal obtained. Relic obtained.
A shameful fake golden crown. Someone used the black market for status. Foolish. Reprisals are often deadly. It does seem like there's a fair amount of blood in that image, and we're just not going to talk about that. Despite, like, discovering blood being one of my primary things. You know, I'm supposed to be, like, a total freak for it. Let's just turn that on.
Love crystal obtained.
I wonder how many times you end up talking to Shinji if you find all of the Shinjis scattered around. Yeah, can I ask you a personal
I
question?
hate demons.
It's been a while since I felt this particular kind of stomach-churning dread. Where did you take a dump in the Idlelands? Because I didn't see a toilet up
I
there.
have a bad feeling about this.
Well, you don't need to. It's a special, wonderful kind of punishment.
Got it.
You get put in a kind of suspended animation where certain bodily functions aren't needed, but you're still fully conscious.
That's me.
So you're forced to have eternal solitude without even having the luxury of a good bathroom break. Man, I hate the Syndicate. I don't know, man. That doesn't sound so bad. I guess I wouldn't... I don't feel like I would miss it. But maybe some people enjoy going to the bathroom more than I do. Definitely seems weird. Okay, so just a big ol' pile of rubble here. Bits of destroyed housing.
Fast travel unlocked.
Is this like stuff that's here because they had started destroying the island already, or was this here before, I wonder?
Starlight skins obtained.
Wouldn't it be great to have an apartment with a view like this? Imagine how few problems you'd have. Yeah, I mean, you would certainly have the means for solving a lot of different kinds of problems. What is this?
Relic obtained.
Okay, those are fluted columns. That's kind of what I thought they were. Pillar flower, a standard carbonated soda drink, popular with people that enjoy sitting on their balconies trying not to look their neighbor in the eye. Which is a skill you got to get good at when you live packed in that tightly. Thing is, there's not a lot else to look at, right? So hold on, let's check out the beach over here by the obelisks. You know, I just realized something. I've been assuming I can only air dash once. Is that true? Yes. Yes, they will not let me air dash again until I land. Hey, it's some guy. Also, a bunch of beer bottles and stuff. Somehow we know that these beer bottles, this garbage, is not important, unlike the other garbage we've been collecting. It happened right here! Can you believe it?
Sure.
Believe what? A horror! A waking horror! This island is a carnival of nightmares! Well, I mean, it has its charms. You're insane! All of you insane! You're lucky you weren't got by him. By who? The vampire! That horror! The vampire horror! A vampire killed you? On this beach! A nighttime stroll resulted in gross murder. I wonder which I wonder which version of gross he's using there. So when was this? So what is time on these islands? No one cared. No one believes in vampires, but it happened. I can't leave this place until I know there is
I need
evidence.
to investigate this.
Well, finding evidence is what I do. The horror! Yeah, I found the evidence when I searched the surgery at the Syndicate
The
HQ.
truth is revealed.
You were the 5th victim. See, look what comes of being thorough. But the murders were covered up. The cause of the vampirism was never found. The killer was caught because of you. Me?
That's it.
The killer left a trace of saliva on you, and they found him. A citizen. He was arrested. The horror is gone! I can ascend! He's still a horrified ghost, though. Take this. A blue demon gave it to me. He could see me.
Those crystals obtained.
Shinji's a weird dude. I don't really get his whole thing. And I still think there's like a I would go so far as to say a 70 to 80% chance that he's our murderer. I just feel like he commits a lot of murders. Okay, that is something. I see Shinji over to the right. We'll get him in a second. Okay, this is just some blood crystals buried in the sand. I mean, this area is neat, and definitely a place we've not been before.
Crystals obtained.
Ha!
Alright, we're gonna sneak up on Shinji. Nope, never mind. He's always watching. Now, you think whoever did the murder is evil? I mean, they have to be, right? Murder is evil, and so
I
on.
don't like this.
Evil is a worthless trait cowards assign to people they wish didn't exist. It's a hand wave. By not examining why we think of them as evil, we learn less about ourselves and our society. The Syndicate's trying to resurrect a race of alien gods that enslaved man and fought millennia-long wars. I don't think you should be spouting off about evil. What do we think? Do we think Lady Love Dies is into it? I mean, she is a member of the Syndicate, and presumably was for quite some time before the exile. So, probably, right? I wish I knew a little bit more about, like, exactly... I mean, I wish I knew almost anything about the time before exile. I'm gonna say she's part of the Syndicate. She believes.
Don't test me.
Now, a demon shouldn't be questioning the Syndicate. We have our holy mission. That's a good one. Alright, sorry about the jump cut. Something occurred that had to require my immediate attention. There was food, and I had to eat it. But we are back now. And there's still a fair amount of beach to look around here. I guess we're still doing this. I guess at some point we'll investigate a murder or whatever. It's going to happen. Probably. So let's see. This would be... I wish there was a single button press to get to the map. I guess that's the dead zone? And then around the rocks we're going to end up in the part of the map that we actually haven't been to yet. Okay, let's finish exploring the beach first, obviously. There's so many blood crystals to collect. And I'm sure, like, right now, I'm being very cavalier with them. I'm sure by the end, we're going to be real happy we went out of our way to collect all of these. The power of goat soda. Or the power of goat soda. A soda with additives to give you an energy boost. You, too, can have the power of the holy goat. We should be so lucky. This is the boarding point for boat trips which go around the island. The sign says the boat rides were shut down by Yuri Knight a few days ago. There's no reason given. I wonder why. Why would he shut them down early? That is actually curious. It makes a person wonder what was going on around the coast that Yuri didn't want people seeing. Let's definitely make sure we pick this one up, because it would be a bit of a pain to walk back here later. The blue! The ocean is so blue! More blue than it has any right to be. Who does he think he is? Maybe a god lies buried beneath that sand. Yep, that's usually what blue means. Alright, so... I'm assuming... Oh, well, shoot.
Respawning.
Oh boy, this is not where we were... Oh, okay, just... That turned out to be the quickest way to get where we were going. Just put us right up here. Alright, what have we here? Midnight melancholy on a desolate road. Can't beat it. Absolute loneliness. Just you and the choices you've made. That is a nightmare. Let's just go ahead and take that out of the rotation. No. No, 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 no. Don't you ever confront me with the choices I've made. How dare you? Who do you think you are?
Fast travel unlocked. Starlight skins obtained.
Most of these texts were destroyed after the Great Betrayal. Those that still exist in the real world are approved by... them. That's going to turn out to just be the Federal Bureau of Control. Director Faden is going to be pissed about all the shit that's going down out here. The 19th Island sequence, when you sat with me and looked at the moon. This one is, remarkably more personal than many of the others have been. Okay, this is curious. Still missing pyramids. Yeah, we definitely need to find those other... Hi! Boy, that's real creepy. I'm sure it's supposed to be an eye, and it's supposed to look like an eye, but this area around here has a real, like, a sort of a lip suggestion. I don't... Looking at that's making me profoundly uncomfortable.
Blood crystal obtained.
Alright, I guess let's see what's up here before we go walking down the beach. Oh, I guess this doesn't go up any further. I mean, we could get up further. But yeah, it looks like just... this is it. This is the apex of this area. Well, let's see what's up here. So this is the big factory, right? I'm trying not to sound like a broken record here, but oh my god, I love the new mobility tools. I'm so happy that we paid for those foot washings. Who doesn't love a little therapeutic foot bath every now and then? Well, I mean, clearly you're supposed to climb up these, right? Like, this is very obviously built for this purpose. Boy, we're getting up pretty high here. Actually, we're like almost as high as we've ever been. Oh, sorry, hold on a second. Little issue to... Okay, there we go. Everything's fine. Everyone stop panicking. And of course, Shinji's already up here. Yeah, look at these things are very obviously built as stairs. Whoever put this place together wanted people to climb up on it. And what's the shape of crime, Loved Eyes? The shape? Like a metaphor or something. What shape does crime
The
take?
investigator is here.
Well, some crimes are a pyramid, wide at the bottom, but the solution is a narrow point. But some crimes are an inverse pyramid, balancing precariously on a single point with a frighteningly wide conspiracy. You really did have a lot of time up in the Idlelands, didn't you? You asked... You did that just to mock me. The whole purpose of that question. At some point, Shinji, there is going to come a reckoning. Okay, well, we'll worry about that door later. Obviously, it's not entirely critical that we get it open. There we go. I mean, I suppose we may as well unlock it, right? So, we desperately, desperately need the pyramid upgrade for Starlight. Unfortunately, I have no idea how we could possibly guess where that is. We're just going to have to keep looking around until we stumble upon it. I don't think we're going to be able to get up there from here. No, there's no way. That's way too far. Even if we got up on top of those things, I don't think it would be enough. But we can try. Okay, that worked. No, there's no way. That's too high to get up to, even with all of our mobility stuff. Actually, I was up there for a second. Maybe we can do it. The air dash really covers some distance. How high do we end up? Let's... Wow, we might actually... Hold on. If we can stand on the dishes... No, we can't. They have no collision. Okay, we can totally... That's a shorter distance. Let's get on that one. Okay, there's no reason to be up here. So, like, we can get onto that surface pretty easily. There's no way we make this, though, right? I mean, obviously, I'm gonna try. Just trying to make sure I'm not gonna get stuck on that thing. Oh. Alright, well, that went about the way I was expecting it to go. Oh, that's actually not pathable. Well, I suppose we can grab these pretty easily and then worry about getting way up top in a second.
Those crystals obtained.
We may as well grab these now so we don't have to think about them later. Because I will not remember that they are here. Also, we were totally... So we were on the other end of this bridge. We looked down this bridge and saw the door. Okay. Again, always just struggling to contextualize where we've been in relation to where else we have been. Bar knife through the heart. It's weird. It's weird for the name of a bar to just start with. I mean, I guess it's a thing I've seen in a lot of Japanese video games, probably due to, like, weird translation stuff. I've definitely seen a lot of, like, Bar Neely's. It's a bar called a Bar Neely's. Oh, yes, more movement stuff. Bathe my feet. Do it.
That's weird. That's strange.
Feels like I could find anything, even if it's hidden. Please hold the meditate button. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, I just bounced off of that fence. There we go.
Those crystals obtained.
Wow, those remain visible for a long time. And I mean, obviously, it's not a big deal to... So hold on a second. There was something right here. As if I needed more stuff to distract me. Now we actually get to know where everything is.
Relic obtained.
The 21st island sequence. We restored the heartbeat of Moonlight Petal. She slumbers under Siberia. We must give her more power. Moonlight Petal. That's a new one, I think, right? I don't know that we've... I don't know that we've heard of Moonlight Petal before.
Those crystals obtained.
I must be allowed to walk in this because, you know, there are ladders out of it.
Those crystals obtained.
We were definitely doing something. I was certainly on the way to something. So you want to tell me anything about your home planet? Not really.
Ooh, the investigator
Why not?
is here.
I don't like people prying into my affairs. Okay, alright. That was weird. That was... Why even put that in? That's like such a non-interaction. What a strange thing. Okay, anyway. I'm not too worried about, like, us having missed a lot of stuff due to not having meditate, because, like, items make noise when you're near them, and we've been doing a pretty good job of finding an awful lot of stuff. I guess we'll go down there eventually. I guess we gotta deal with this Shinji now, though. Yeah, don't you think it's a bit of a flaw? What? Did I just walk into the middle of a rhetorical conversation or something? What are you talking about? Allowing a possessed citizen to stay on the island. You people are all about getting rid of demons. It's like one of your main things. You never shut up about it. Yeah, they did it because of reasons. They probably had their reasons. Such as... making an example out of a criminal? Or one of the many rituals we have? Or maybe Akiko needs someone to waterboard on a bad day? Now, this wasn't as interesting as I'd hoped. Okay, sorry to disappoint. Alright, I guess let's take the elevator up. I was going to try to climb back up the cliffside, but we could just come down the cliffside from the top of the elevator, I'm sure. And also, more phones, hooray!
Fast travel unlocked. Starlight skins obtained.
The city hides. The city protects. You need to hide yourself in the city, because they're coming for you. Alright, well that's the most menacing upgrade we've received so far. Okay, that's a lot that's occurring right there. I'll be right with you.
Music obtained.
Okay, this is alright. The heat gave way, as it always does, to lust. Ours was a life of indulgence. We were fierce. We were alive. 10s across the board. That's a lot of heat. Oh, I bounced my face off of that ledge. But everything's fine. It turns out to be fine. So, I'm just gonna meditate real quick. Are there any fun mysteries nearby? Okay, there's some stuff right there. We know that's just a bloodstone. So, like, not that I don't want it, but it's not critical that we get it right this second. Of course, almost everything's gonna end up being just a bloodstone.
Obtained.
Or blood crystal, rather.
Relic obtained.
23rd sequence. This one is nearly perfect. It lasts for so long. Carmelina is truly a genius. Yeah, they were getting pretty good in the late 20s. Okay, I mean, we gotta. Sam Daybreak.
Sam Daybreak.
The Barmaster. I'd heard you were back.
Sam Daybreak.
Barmaster. Born in the shadow of the dragon in Turkey in AD 999 under the sign of Shadow Zero. Sam took to killing like breathing. He killed to survive on the streets and then killed as a soldier, before just killing, for the hell of it. He became a hitman extraordinaire under the banner of Shadow Zero. Oh, right, this picture of him with Lydia reminds me, we found that knife and it had Sammy Baby inscribed on it. So this is our Sammy Baby. He met Lydia on the battlefield. They battled for 2 weeks, destroying the town of Ross 009. Lydia claimed victory and stabbed Sam through the heart. Back when he had a heart, I assume. While fighting, he had fallen in love with Lydia, and in his moment of death refused to leave her. His skin fell away and his skeleton hardened, becoming a deep red as he confessed his love for her. She too had fallen for him and accepted his confession. They fled to get married. He renounced his murderous ways and refuses to commit harm to others. Starlight is filling you in, isn't she? Have you forgotten about us during exile? This is not the optimal way to hold a bottle. I know that his whole deal is all screwed up now because he got stabbed and whatever, but this is bad. They should not let him run a bar like this. I suppose isolation clouds the mind, doesn't it? Hey, Sam, it's been a while. Nice jacket. Oh, you noticed. It was a gift from Lydia. She always had good taste. I really like his laugh a lot. Lydia's missed drinking with you.
Oh, I'm glad to be back.
I missed you too as well. You're the only normal people on these islands. Listen, normal's a relative term. He's got so many good laughs. Well, that's nice of you to say, LD. It would be nicer if you were back under better circumstances, wouldn't
I
it?
don't like this.
Well, the Syndicate's in a bad place. It's devastating, isn't it? Our friends and colleagues have been taken from us.
I have a bad feeling about
There's not a lot of wailing grieving going on. We've existed for unknown epochs of time, haven't we? It gives everyone a different perspective on things. I expect that's true, but honestly, I would expect that it would make a loss like this more devastating, because like you get so used to not losing people.
Sure.
So how's the whiskey blend on this island? Some vanilla, caramel, spice, and just a hint of smoke. The spice is unusual. The whiskey tastes like the island it's made on. This has been a peaceful island. The caramel and vanilla are in harmony. The spice twists in your mouth. It coils and slips between the other flavors. I would not want to drink whiskey that tastes like an island, personally. That's just me, though. I'm not into sand. And what's the whiskey telling you, Sam? There's something under the surface. Something that twists. Something that has moved between us all. You can feel it too? There anything I can help you with? Oh, I expect there's a thing or two. His voice really reminds me of someone. Like, it's a very specific... You know who he sounds like? He sounds like the guy who runs Manny's casino floor for him in year 2 of Grim Fandango. That's who he's reminding me of. Yeah, absolutely pay for a drink. Why not? I have so many blood crystals, I'll never spend them all. What do you recommend, Sam? How long since you had a drink? It's been about 3 million days, so I might be a little bit of a lightweight at this point. You feel like catching up? Yes. I'm enthusiastic. This seems to be a friendly person. Could use more of those. Hit me. Make it a large one. How about starting with a highball?
Glad to be back.
Okay. You're too kind, LD. I'm still practicing. This is Dead Nebula's Beyond Horizon, a nice blended whiskey. He's just gonna get me super drunk right away. Maybe I should have thought about this a little bit more. It has a crisp flavor and a sweet, smoky aroma. It goes perfectly with the soda water and a garnish of mint to make a nice highball. Okay, there's a lot of detail about the drinks that I maybe don't actually need. Well, you've been running a bar for longer than I've been alive. You're a master. There's always something new to learn and to improve, isn't there? Are you chasing a goal that's out of reach? It doesn't matter if it's out of reach, does it, investigator? It only matters that you are trying and that you improve. The key to a highball is the ice. This ice is frozen at -20 degrees C. It makes the ice harder so it doesn't melt. You can enjoy the taste of the ingredients without them being diluted. Now, the ice is cut to provide a tight fit in the glass. A highball has to be stirred gently so the soda doesn't fizz. You stir without the ice moving apart. It chills it nicely, doesn't it? Again, there's a lot of detail about the drinks that's maybe, not relevant to what we're doing here. Alright, I need to go and breathe life back into paradise. Good hanging. Okay, well, I mean, relationship increases are probably valuable. I assume. Alright, we got a lot of questions. So, you think Henry really did this, Sammy? It's hard to say, isn't it? It's a hell of a crime. What do you believe, LD? I'm still making my truth. That's a dangerous way to be thinking about what's going on here. Akiko found him with council blood in his stomach. That's messed up, isn't it? He's clearly a sicko. Well, that's what I'm trying to work out. So can you think of anyone that would want to kill the council, Sam?
You accusing me?
Kill the council? The crime of the century, of the millennium.
Is this a joke, LD?
I don't think I do, LD. I'm really sorry I can't be of more help. Everyone here is a loyal member of the Syndicate, aren't they? If you watch, sometimes he, actually... In the last pose he was just in, the corners of his eye sockets were narrowed down so it could look like he was angry at us, but that's not really how skeletons work. Then again, I suppose a lot of this isn't really how skeletons work.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, I hope that's true. We're definitely going to have to be careful. Do I have the option of asking him about the knife? I do not. Okay, I'll have to talk to Lydia first, probably. Or maybe it'll come out as part of this. So, where were you at the time of the murder, Sam? Am I under suspicion,
I
LD?
don't like this.
Sam, I'm an investigator. Of course, LD. We must all cooperate, mustn't we? Lydia had taken me to the Paradise Gates.
Fancy at the range.
I finished packing up the bar. I spent a few minutes taking the place in. I couldn't have expected to be back here, could I? So what time did you leave the bar? I let Yuri know I was good to go. Lydia came to get me and we went to the gates. She picked me up about 10 to midnight. We arrived at the gates at about 5 to midnight. And do you have any proof? The Nightmare computers at the gates will have the logs. Yeah, that's a fair point. What about your motive? Sure thing, LD. What do you need to know?
Investigator is here.
Well, you got anything you'd like to tell me? I'm very much scraping the bottom here. I don't think so, LD. We're happy. You know, I kind of like this. You two might be the only ones.
Think so, LD.
Well, I hope not. Wouldn't it be awful if we were? I kind of like the idea that Love Dies is so removed from any kind of happiness, particularly after 3 million days basically in stasis, that she kind of can't help herself but admire what it seems like they have. Did you see Yuri last night? Lydia tried phoning him. You should ask her, shouldn't you? Look how shocked he is that I asked that. Okay, here's where we get to ask this. I mean, we have to, right? I suppose, if this were a real investigation, if I were really in this position, I probably wouldn't, right? I wouldn't want to bring up the knife until I either had some more information about what was going on, or I knew that I wasn't going to get more information any other way. In a video game, you sort of expect that asking a question like this isn't going to close off any avenues the way it might if in real life. So I guess we're going to ask it, but I'm a little nervous about it. Hey, do you know anything about the murder of the martial guards outside the council building? I don't, do I, LD? Terrible business, isn't it? So that's a very non-committal answer. You got any idea why Lydia's knife was outside the penthouse? No idea, LD. You sure it's hers? I mean, I do want to bring up the engraving. Let's not do it in a mocking way. We're trying to be friendly here.
Got it.
Well, it has an engraving from you. Well, that is her knife. No idea why you found it there, though. Have you asked her about it? Now, we'll get there, eventually. We're gonna have a real long conversation with Lydia and Akiko. What do you know about KHX's disappearance? I don't think I can help you on this one, can I? Maybe check out his place overlooking the ocean. Did you see the doctor last night? Well, he said he'd been in his clinic, didn't he? Dude likes to end his responses to my questions with his own questions in a way that I don't like. Did you see Witness to the End last night? I've got nothing except what I heard at the crisis meeting, LD. He was in his apartment with Carmelina. You should ask them, shouldn't you? What do you know about the escape last night? I'm not sure what help I can be, LD. Have you spoken to Akiko? That's not really a new note. I already knew that she was the one I needed to talk to. Hey, what do you know about outer space? It's a mystery, isn't it? Not for me to know, is it? Okay, well, I guess I could have guessed how that was going to go. And what do you know about Henry's demonic possession 10 years ago?
LD.
The Dead Zone's bad news, LD. If you're looking into a crime from a decade ago, you're going to have to stare into the... You're going to have to stare into the Hell Coffin. That's a wild thing to say, and the thing is, with what we know about this game so far, I'm sure he's referring to an actual thing in the world that is just called the Hell Coffin. Like, that's a totally normal name for a thing here. Okay, well that was productive-ish. No, actually, did we learn anything? I got to talk to a person that I'm friendly with. That has value. But no, I don't think we did learn anything. Okay. Nope, time for another weird flash forward. Bar the Way of Blood. Why do it? Why do what? The crime, the murder, the paradise killing. To reshape the world. When you pull a trigger or thrust a knife, the world branches. The old world is gone. It exists in history. Then history is forgotten. The world is remade, or reshaped, it depends. And we all live in the new world after that. The world must get reshaped a lot. More than you know. Yeah, okay, yeah, I guess. I'm still not sure if we're getting a lot of value out of those. A Gothic second whiskey. Aged for longer in specially constructed crypts, tended to... Aged for longer in specially constructed crypts, tended to by self-professed ghouls. Their obsession took them and warped them. All they do is caress the barrels until it is time to bottle. Well, if you're after a deeply caressed drink, you're not gonna find a better one than this, I assume. Alright, what, Shinji? You know, I could really go for a cocktail.
Ow.
How did you get into cocktails? When the bar closes, I hang out on the roof and down whatever's left. Cocktails are one of the few good things humans have made. What's your favorite? Oh, I like a nice mojito. Lots of rum and mint. We should stop this conversation. It's been so long since I had a mojito. I thought she meant just kind of in general, but okay. You want to grab a few and watch the island die? No can do. The island, I mean, first of all, he's mad because he thinks I blew him off, but like, the island doesn't die until I finish my job. It actually is pretty important that I get this done. Okay. So, I guess let's have a quick look over here. You know what? I don't need to look around for things like this. I can just meditate and then see where the hearts are. And it turns out the answer is nowhere nearby. Well, we can certainly get up to this bloodstone. And apparently I missed some stuff over there. Oh, well, that's down in the front of the factory area, which is a place we haven't really been to.
Those crystals obtained.
Okay, so now that we've sort of committed to finishing off this area, I guess we may as well go down here and talk to the Shinji that we know is down here and get whatever else is around. Like this.
Those crystals obtained.
It is probably a good idea for me to try to complete whole areas rather than picking through and coming back because of, you know, my brain. Okay, we have enough to open this one.
Nightmare computer.
So definitely Cosmos first. You and you and you. And then, you know, a goat. That's what that is. Just a good old-fashioned, extremely normal goat.
Nightmare computer unlocked.
Okay, well this is... I guess I thought we were going to be, like, inside a factory.
Relic obtained.
The 12th island sequence. Centuries of visions. Every clock remained at 0, and we all saw great stone citadels on a forgotten planet. So, when it says centuries of visions, does it mean, like, centuries worth of visions, or is it telling us that that island sequence lasted centuries? And also, you know, for the whole time, there were lots of visions.
Relic obtained.
A carving that details the god Cosmic Deceit, the many-armed iguana, buried under the shifting sands of the bizarre purple desert hidden in Egypt. A nasty and selfish god. He died after his plan to seduce Romeo Silence was foiled by the Syndicate. They showed up and they were like, Romeo, no! You must resist. I know, everyone wants to have sex with a many-armed iguana. But somehow, you gotta get through this, buddy.
Obtained.
A diary from a worker in the power station. They're complaining about abnormal time distortions from being near the reality folding drive. Lost time, days that go on for months, and unexpected age regression are all common side effects. Yo, that does sound like it sucks. And this is super jarring. These are just like... We know that the citizens are just people kidnapped from Earth, right? But even so, it's very weird to hear in this place see pictures of actual human people. And it's also weird that it's the same couple of pictures over and over again. I'm definitely hearing... Oh, it's right there. I was gonna say, where's that noise coming from? Hey, what makes a good killer? You mean someone that's good at killing, or someone that doesn't get caught? The first one.
Got it.
Coldness, passion leads to mistakes. If someone survives being killed, you've messed up.
Don't test me.
But if you can kill like it's the most routine thing in the world, I'd say you make a good killer. Well, what about not getting caught?
Sure.
I should not be giving him advice about this. Well, you either need to disappear or make it seem too ridiculous that you could have been involved. This is the most obvious it's Shinji, it was obviously Shinji that they could possibly get with us, right? You think there's someone like that on the island? Well, if there wasn't, I wouldn't be here. Good point, he says, and then disappears, while also making it seem ridiculous that he could be the one who did it. It's Shinji. It's so much Shinji. The degree to which it is Shinji is, like, honestly, hard to believe. That said, I don't know how I would arrest him, because he can teleport, so it's gonna be a problem. Alright, definitely these, and then also we got one of those, and also one of those. And this one's just a goat. Just like a totally normal goat.
Nightmare computer unlocked.
Ah, that's what that is. I suppose that makes sense. That makes a kind of sense.
Ha.
Plus crystal obtained.
Ah.
Fast travel unlocked.
You know, it's wild how much the relative normal of this game has sort of, like, seeped into my brain. Because that, like, spooky human shape that we're about to turn around and go talk to would be really scary in almost any game. Like, for you to walk out of a door and see something like that. But here, it's just like, a person. What a not weird thing is happening now. Symbols of the Witness Starlight skin. Symbols of the Witness Starlight skin obtained. The end of something is priceless. It can never be experienced again, and it can never be traded. What if things shouldn't end, though? I mean, that's an awfully big question for a cosmetic to be asking. Hey there, pal. What's going on? No, this ghost has no qualifier. My dreams, filled with endless images. Working at the power plant. A cursed life. The assignment we all fear. Worse than the Deep Factory. Your thoughts disappear, replaced by lives you haven't lived, lives you won't lead, lives you might lead. Time disappears. The same day recycled. The same day disappears. My mind broke. Yeah, I can tell. 1,000,000 shards. I can't ascend to heaven without knowing who I am. I just remember my fish tank. Outside my apartment. Near the convenience store. I loved those fish. Who am I? You're probably Ezra Albertine. On account of I found your employee card next to your fish tank. Your fish are doing fine, by the way. Ezra Albertine. I wonder if I liked who I am.
Investigator is here.
People often wonder that at the end. The only people that don't are psychopaths. Thank you. I found something. It's in my locker. My locker code is 0120. Now I can ascend. Okay. Well, I think we're headed toward the power plant, so I guess we'll probably make use of that. Alright, I'm not going to jump down right now, and it looks like there's nothing to grab up here, so we'll check all that stuff out on the way back outside. So we can't help but cross again, right? Yeah, I'm real curious about this. I'm also noticing the time. Is that a phone over there? Okay, we'll probably just save it that one then.
Those crystals obtained. Fast travel unlocked.
Alright, is it a cool one?
Dollar skins obtained.
Symbol of a bar master. Not so much. The perfect drink on a perfect evening. Bliss. It never lasts, though. The night always ends. The morning always comes. Routine will always be waiting for you. Well, that's a grim note to end on. I'm just going to get into this menu so that thing doesn't keep beeping throughout the outro. That is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I gotta say, this place has always been really weird, but I feel like over the last maybe episode or two, it's taken on a menace. I mean, I know there's been skulls and stuff everywhere the whole time, but I'm definitely getting some really bad feelings about what's going on around here. When you come back next time, tomorrow, hopefully we'll find some answers, although if I'm honest, there's enough island left that there's probably still just a lot of running around and picking up blood crystals to go. And we'll see you then.